Hello, all you happy people. This is Key of W with Morialin's Insight. It's been a while since I recorded. It might not be a while since I uploaded because my recording and upload schedule are not the same, but it has been a while since I recorded. So let's see where we are. Last thing I did was this wonderful puzzle, which looked like that. Great. You might ask, why don't I just, make a consistent, regular upload and recording schedule? You might ask me that, and to that I would say, I think in this episode we're going to go to reflections in the sky. We're going to finish off this area. So we're going to fast travel over here. And it's not this way, actually. It's this way. I'm gonna find, wow. Something feels weird. I feel dizzy looking around for some reason. Maybe it's just because I haven't played this game in a while and my eyes need to adjust to how this game works. That's an arch. Let's take it. Alrighty. Two who stand together have one shadow. It's actually kind of a cool proverb, I'm going to be honest. A few of the trans-universal proverbs are neat. Some of them feel a little bit overwrought, but some of them actually are kind of bangers. I like that one. I'm not sure how it relates to the game, but it's a cool proverb. Yeah, so these guys I can't do. I think it's because it's the... Oh no, that's a different area. I'm not going to spirals and spirals. I'm going to reflections in the sky. Hold on, that's a sky drop I can do. I'm going to do it. And that's a ring. So anyway, the actual place I'm going here. Ogly, if I do not go to the fracture, then the unknown will come to me on its own. What do you mean? We are balanced on a fine edge. The fracture is widening, and I fear that it could shatter again at any moment. If that happens, the known realm will be destroyed. Okay, so I'm sort of getting a plot now. I guess I gotta complete this before I go in, so let's do that. Areas containing this symbol must be symmetrical. Okay, so symmetry. Yeah. So that just means that this is symmetrical. So if you divide a line, I don't know why I'm explaining symmetry. If you don't know what symmetry is, I'm afraid you're just going to have to look that one up. But yeah, these have to be. So that means if we see a light cell adjacent to this one, it's got to be like this to be symmetrical, which means this one has to be over here, right? Let's see how it all works. So we can do it in dark cells as well. So this makes it symmetrical. This connection means this has to happen, which means this has to happen. But this has to be a light cell. If it was a dark cell, the game would just tell us immediately it doesn't work, so that's always nice. This has to be a light cell because on the other side it's light. And so does that, and oops, and that. So these are the symmetries here. Oh right, that has to be like that because that's a light cell next to it. That has to be, ooh, hold on. Okay, that's how it is. I see it. So yeah, we have, let's say this is horizontal symmetry, I think, because one side on the horizontal axis and the other side are the same. But there's also vertical symmetry, which is the opposite. So this can't connect there. Lotus opposing cells, okay. Lotuses cannot connect to a tile if the reflection of that tile is the opposite color. Yeah, so in this picture, this cell here, it's a little smaller, sorry. It's not my fault, it's the game. This cell, if this was a light cell here, it would make 3 light cells in a row, which would mean that these would also have to be light. But since this one is dark, they both have to be dark. You see, it's not that hard. It's a pretty basic thing you're going to figure out if you do symmetries. So, because this is a light cell connected, this has to be, and so on and so forth. But this is light and that is dark. These are symmetrically opposite from the line, which means that they cannot connect to this at all, or we're in trouble. Means that can't connect there either. These also can't connect to each other, so this is how the symmetry goes. This is vertical symmetry here, so the top and bottom halves have to be the same. That's the only way to do that one. This looks like it's just going to be a ring around the edge, like so. So that's what this enclave is going to be about. I actually really remember this one. This was one of my favorite enclaves in my first playthrough. Um, like the idea behind it is really cool. You might be able to figure out what's going on immediately. So because of the symmetry of everything, if you notice, like look at how these are like so, and how there's a building down there and a building up there. And you probably think I'm looking in water. That's not water I'm looking in. That is just a hole in the ground. So the reflection is actually because this entire enclave is copied upside down. It's like vertical symmetry in an enclave. It's a really cool idea. But it's not exactly like, I think it's like there's some elements that are just pure upside down, and there's some elements that are upside down and horizontally flipped. For instance, I think that rock, I just remember that's how it worked. I don't remember, like, that rock doesn't have an analog right under it, but it might be that one. No, they don't look the same. I just know that the rocks around are always have like some kind of symmetrical opposite. Like there is a rock somewhere that's the opposite of that. I just don't remember where it is. So anyway, that's why I think it's the coolest enclave, even though there are some irritating parts about it, because things are upside down, traveling is a bit tricky. So anyway, let's get to it. I need to solve pillars of insight, so we might as well just get started with this. So symmetry. Well, anything here, we can't have a white cell anywhere there, because then there would have to be one here, but that's the edge of the grid. So that's the end of that. So that's this, and like so. So I think this is what this is teaching us, is that the edge of the grid will always count as the opposite color cell as far as symmetry goes. So we always have to fill that like so. Lotus opposing nulls. Yeah, they're going to tell us what we just figured out. Lotuses cannot connect to a tile if the reflection of that tile falls outside the boundaries of the grid. Yeah. Cool. So this has to be like this, which means it's this way. But opposing nulls means we have to have these as light cells. These cannot connect to each other. These cannot connect to each other. Those cannot connect. Why am I hearing that drum thing every time I finish one of these puzzles? Is something happening outside? Okay, well these have to connect, which means these have to connect. I think we just have a symmetrical shape. There's really no reason not to just fill everything in white now. Cool. Let's do these puzzles, why not? So, oops, symmetry means we have to have this, and we have to have this. So now that we have two symmetrical shapes, we just got to fill in like that. And then there's the puzzle underneath, which is not a symmetrical version of the one we just solved. That's okay. So this has to happen, which does connect these to each other. Now, you might think we can't connect this light cell here, but we can. We would just have to then connect light cells all around here. Does that work? Well, we know this has to be a light. Oh, yeah, they do. That has to connect, which means this all has to be like that. And in order to make... So now we have the horizontal symmetry here. To make the vertical symmetry, this has to be a light cell. Then we have to finish it off like so. Cool. So we've got logic grids to do. We've got a hidden pentad. It says complete one, but there's more than that for sure. We've got archways. There's another archway here. Oh, you know what it's going to be? It's going to be underneath. Yeah, look. You can probably see it. Here, I'll go down there. There it is. Oh, of course, there's a pillar of insight upside down here as well. Wait, hold on. Is there one up there? I missed that one. Oh, and there's a hidden pentad there. Well, let me get the pillar of insight. That's what I wanted to do. Like that. Cool. Well, this has to be a light cell, which definitely means we have this and that. And I think that's all. So yeah, we have this, and then like so. See, that way we have the horizontal symmetry here and the vertical symmetry. I think you get the idea. You can sort of see what I'm doing here. This has to have both horizontal and vertical symmetry. Having both of those essentially means it's like a square shape kind of thing. So that means this has to connect. Now, because the vertical symmetry has to happen, this has to happen. And to make horizontal symmetry, this has to happen. Now, horizontal symmetry means this has to be here, but vertical symmetry means it has to also be like this. And I think we just have the shape now. I think we just have it. Yeah. Horizontal and vertical symmetry. So if we start with the horizontal here, we have to do this like so. But now to make it vertical, we have to have all of that and this and that. There we go. This is just horizontal symmetry. This has to happen. Now, you might be tempted to fill this in, but then there wouldn't actually be symmetry because it has to be, the axis of symmetry is this. So if I do this, this doesn't work because this object goes way too far to the right if the symmetry is here, and this object goes way too far to the left. So this piece does, in fact, have to be a dark cell, and that's finished. Lotus connection restriction. Multiple lotus symbols can be in the same connected region, but if two lotus symbols are pointing in the same direction, they can only be connected if they share the same axis of symmetry. So what I just said, but again, so yeah, axis of symmetry, meaning like the line that we're being symmetrical around. So this has to be symmetrical this way. Oh dear, this means this has to look like that in order to make the symmetry. This, I guess when you do both, the square symmetry, I'll say, it's got to be both directions, which means this can't connect, because if this connected to this, no, can it? No, because there's no way to make this horizontally symmetrical, because this piece and this piece would need to be symmetrical. So that's what I thought. I thought it needed to be separated, but I wanted to see if it was possible to connect them. So it is not, which means that these are all done. That's complete. So what's the best way back up? Might be this thing down here. I remember seeing that earlier. I want to grab this puzzle I missed. Ah, diagonal symmetry. This is bound to happen. And so what this means, this is a little harder to like explain just kind of as I'm staring at the camera, or not the camera, the game. Don't really have a camera on myself. But like, okay, imagine the line goes through here. That means every square that would be here needs to be the same here, and vice versa, right? But diagonally, this one is symmetrical to here. So if this was a dark cell, sorry, that's not correct. This one is connected to here. That's what it is. If this is a dark cell, let me continue my thought. This has to be dark. See what I mean? These are symmetrical around this diagonal axis. This one took me a little while to figure out my first playthrough, but it was such a memorable lesson for me that is one of the bits that I remembered as soon as I started this playthrough 500 years ago. I knew I'd be getting to this moment again. So these can be like so, or they can be like this. Whatever the case, they have to be the same. Now this one is the same idea, so this has to be the same, which means that we have to have this shape. So if you imagine the line, if you can tilt your head a little bit, you'll see what I mean. Just tilt your head until this looks kind of like a W. Since we can't extend this white line further this direction, it has to stop here, which means these have to be connected. This has to be a dark cell because otherwise there would be a white cell there. Let's see here. Now this can only extend one, but this one couldn't go that far. It can only go one more. I'm trying to see like where's the obvious thing I should do. But I don't see the obvious thing. I can do that. But if let's say I didn't, then this would have to be white, and that can't be. I see. That's the trick. That's where the trick is. This has to be white in order to stop this from moving out. Yeah, that can't be because it goes that way. I see. I hope you see, because I honestly just don't know how to better explain it. It's really tricky to figure out. Now, this can't be a dark cell because then we'd have a trouble with two separate axes of symmetry, which means that's a white cell. This can't be connected though, so we do have to have this. We also have to have that because otherwise we would have to have a dark cell here, and it's not going to work out. So that's how that works out. Okay, I think I understand. I'm relearning in real time how this works. And then we have the version of it that's down here. Get out of my way, hit the pin pad. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'll figure this one out. So right away, this has to be a dark cell. We know that much. This now, diagonally, this has to be a light cell. So does this and that. If you imagine the line, excuse me, if you imagine the line going through here, you should probably see why. But that can't be a light cell because then we'd have an issue. We'd need this one to be light, and there is no cell here because the puzzle ends. So that's the end piece there. That has to be the end piece there. This also has to be dark. This could be light, though. We don't know. Because of this now, we've ended it. We can't really have a light cell here, can we? Oh, we can. We can't have... Oh, no. Okay, I don't know there yet. Can we do this? Yes. This doesn't break it because it's possible to have... Yeah, so these two separate diagonals. What this does is the same thing as seeing a vertical and a horizontal together. It makes a square symmetry. This makes like a diamond symmetry. So that's what I'll call it. You got horizontal, vertical. You got the two diagonal directions. When you put the horizontal and vertical together, you get a square symmetry. When you put the two diagonals together, you get a diamond symmetry. That's what we're going to call it. Just easier for me. So for instance, here we have a square symmetry. We have to have this going on. This one has to have, oops, this going on. These have to be dark cells. We can't go any further that way. This has to be dark cell because we can't go any further up. When we have a vertical and a diagonal together, not sure I'd call it, but it definitely makes things a little trickier. So because of this, we need a cell going up, which means we need one going this way, which means we need one going that way. So this satisfies the diagonal symmetry, but it doesn't satisfy this. We actually need this piece. Oh crap. Okay, so now we need this piece. Okay, oh, hold on a second. So that means we need these pieces. Oh god. These are like, no, these could be white. I don't know yet. Hold on a second. Let me think. So if we have this going this direction from the source, it also has to go this way, which means we do have to have, okay, we do have to have this. We have to have this. Oh dear. So that means we have to have that and this. Oh, here's what we'll call it. So this is square symmetry. This is diamond symmetry. This is circle symmetry. It needs to be horizontal, vertical, and diagonal in all directions. That's what's going to need to happen with this. So this is like the only way to do that symmetry. That means we can't connect this. This is utterly ridiculous. So those have to be separated, which means these have to be separated. Okay, this has to be separated, which is going to separate this and that. Those are done. So the question now is, well, we can come out here as long as we like. Do these connect? Well, hold on. Let's look at this corner here. That correlated to that corner, and both of those are dark. So these can't be light cells. So this currently is symmetrical with this piece, but not with this one. We would need this. So you kind of see how like diamond symmetry-ish. It's not really shaped much like a diamond, but it's on all four diagonals. We have this. Or all two diagonals? There's only two. All two diagonals. I'm not smart enough to do these puzzles or explain them. I'm sorry. This corner relates to this corner, which is going to force this shape over here to make the square. It could also be like cross symmetry. This way, like a cross shape. This is an X shape. So maybe I'll use those terms interchangeably. So we have square or cross symmetry. We have diamond or X symmetry. And this is just like the circle. Radial symmetry. Is this actually rotational symmetry? Because that's a thing too. Maybe this is a way to represent rotational symmetry. This is related to that, which means this has to be a piece and that has to be a piece. This can't go any further, which means these can't go any further because that would be a problem. This has, oh dear, this has to go out like this. But does that mean, yeah, it means it has to go out all the way this way, which means this has to go like this. Yeah, so it really feels like this is rotational symmetry, but I could be wrong. This has to go like that, which means these have to be, and we have a sort of choke point in there. So these have to be like this. And then, no. No, they don't. Okay, hold on. Oh, I see. I don't actually need this. I can do it like this. That's how that's done. That is complete. Now, these pieces have to be like this. This can't connect, so it's... Oh my gosh. That was tough for me, and it's only a 4-pipper, so... Let's hit this hidden pentad, shall we? Well, look at you. My guess, then, is going to be there's a piece exactly above me. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be symmetrical. Like, that's the whole game. That's the whole ball game here. Yep. It's exactly symmetrical. So we have a piece directly in the center, so it's not going to be symmetrical. So there's one more piece up here and one more piece below. So just got to find out where those are. Is it up high? Is it around a tree? Oh, it's right here. So I expect there to be one just underneath it, right there. Yeah, using the gimmick against it. So we have this piece here, or this puzzle. Oh, with symmetry and letters. All right, let's do it. Well, A is going to connect to A and B. So B is to connect, so it's going to come out, but it can't connect to C, which means it will come out this way. We have to stop this piece. This also has to be here. Otherwise, we have an asymmetrical piece. Okay, so that's just surrounded. We're good. C does have to escape, which means these have to be... make it symmetrical. Let's see. B has to escape, which means this... these have to happen. This has to be a light cell. This could be a dark cell here. We're not sure. No, it's not going to be. It's not going to be because of this. But now this has to be symmetrical. So this is going to come around. Let's see. That has to be a dark cell. So we're going to have this. Now we can't have both of these be light cells, but only one can be a dark cell, and it's here in order to keep the symmetry going. Oh, right, this is a B. For some reason, I thought this white cell is connected to C, because I'm an idiot. That has to be. So this has to be a light cell to keep symmetry going. That's the answer to the puzzle. Now, I know there's not a piece underneath this rock, right? Because this rock is not symmetrical, right? There's no tree on top, but there's a tree on the bottom. So what this is telling me is there is a rock somewhere on this enclave, which is going to have a tree on top of it, and it's going to have a big rock underneath. Maybe that is the symmetrical piece to this one. That would mean it would have this... No, it has to have this bit on top. Oh, hey, armillary rings. There's a space right in there. There we go. So what was I doing? This puzzle. 3. Well, this has to be symmetrical. Now we have 3, so we're going to do this. This has to be symmetrical with 5. This is the only way to do it. 7 and 9. Well, I got 5. If I connect to either of these, I'm in trouble. So I have to do it this way. 3 for 5, 6. Okay, this is how this goes. Well, this is a useless rift. Okay, so I need to find an island that has this sort of building set up and then a tree on top. I don't think it's this one down here. I think this is different. This is a different island. And it doesn't seem to have anything under it. Right? You see what I'm saying? Oh man, a star puzzle. This will be... all dark regions of area 4 and symmetry. Oh my. Okay, well I know these sections, none of them can connect to each other. This one could potentially connect to one of these, but it would be tricky to do it without it and then ending up connecting to a bunch of other ones. So where do I begin with this puzzle? Well, I know that if I do this as a light cell, these both have to be light cells, and now we're in trouble over here because we need to have this connect here, and these will never be symmetrical, so we know these have to be dark cells. Now, if this is a light cell, this also has to be light. Once again, we're in trouble. So this has to be a dark cell. So we know that these have to be like so. This could still potentially connect to here, but we don't know. I hope I'm making the right assumption with this. I'm sure I am. These cannot possibly be in the same thing because they have two different axes of the same symmetry. You can have two axes of symmetry as long as they're different axes. These are two horizontal axes. Should I call it a horizontal? Yeah, it's horizontal symmetry even though the axis is running vertically. But this could... Oh, no, it can't. Ah, I see. If this ever connects to here, then this has to be a light cell. So this is possible as long as it's a dark cell, but so is that. So it's really not helpful to me yet. I just know that these will not connect to each other. Let's see. If we have this, we have to have that. This could be a problem, but it might not. Ah, here we go. Here's another one. If I connect this to a light cell, then we have this issue. That will never connect. So that has to be a dark cell here. Also, this is near the edge. Why didn't I just fill this in earlier? This has to be like that. This can't be a light cell because then where would it be connected over here? So that has to be a dark cell. Now we're getting somewhere. Now if this was a light cell, we're in trouble because we can't connect it that way. That's a dark cell. That means that is a dark cell, which means this is a light cell because dark areas only have area 4. So if this was dark, it would make an area 5. Now, if this was a light cell, we'd have a problem here. So this is our first dark region. Now, this can't have any connection to a light cell on this column, so these both have to be dark, which means they're going to escape because you have to have a region size of 4. This has to escape to make a region size of 4. There we go. Those are done. This has to be like so. This can't come down because then it has to connect over here, so that's blocked. Okay. Now, where do we go from here? Because I can do this, it doesn't matter. Light cells don't all have to be connected to one of these. Now, if I made this a dark cell, we would have to have both of these be light and this, which would make... This is totally fine. Okay, that didn't help me. I thought I would find a contradiction if I made this a dark cell. If this is a dark cell, though, how do I make... if this is a dark cell, this has to be dark. How do I make a set of 4? It can't connect here, and it would overload there. So that is, in fact, a light cell, which means this can't connect. This has to escape. This has to be a dark cell. We've solved some of this. These cannot connect to each other here. Which means the only way to connect these to anything is like so. So this is, in fact, how this is done. That is the only solution there. This has to connect one of these two, so both of these are light cells. This has to be a dark cell. If this is a dark cell, am I in trouble? No. It is possible for this to be a dark cell. Follow my logic. If this is a dark cell, this is a dark cell, this is a dark cell, these 3 are dark cells, and those 2 are dark cells. And that would just solve the puzzle. Okay. I liked that puzzle a whole lot. That was a good one. Just to check, they're not doing one of those tricks where there's something down there. No, there's not. I really can't. I can't even see archways there. Okay, so where was I? Was I trying to finish off something over here? Well, there's a tree. There's a big tree. Okay, I've been distracted enough. I initially was looking for the opposite version of this rock, but I might not find it. It's not quite that, because we would want to find a tree on the top, as well as some ruins. Well, let's head up and see what we find. No, this might be it. See? We got the rings, and we got this piece here, and we've got an arch. This rock is connected down there. So sometimes this enclave has symmetry just vertically, but you can imagine a line running down the center going through there that connects these 2 rocks. So it's vertical and horizontal symmetry. So the angle on this guy has got to be right There. Oof, I've already been recording 30 minutes. This is going to be a long episode. This is just a big enclave. I'm sorry, everyone. All right. You can't connect this, so these are done. These can't connect. This can't connect. Let's see. Oh, this is done. This can't connect there or there. That can't connect. Yeah, okay. I see what's happening. This can't connect here. That would overload it. This would overload the 4. Nope, that can't be where it is, right? No, that has to be it. Ah, I see. That's what we do. That's what we do. I overthought that. Cool. I've awakened logic grids with lotuses. Yeah, so there's 4 pillars of insight then, this place. 33, oh, there's at least 33 logic grids. There's only 5 hidden pentads, and then there's more than 13 armillary rings and 18 hidden archways. I'm looking at the bit on the right side of the screen in case you're not following along. If for some reason this is the first video of this you've seen of mine, I apologize. If you think, oh, I explain better in earlier videos, you'd be wrong. I don't really explain well ever. So there's an arch here, which means when we go underneath the island, at the very lowest level, we're going to find an arch where that one was. So if I go down here, we're going to find, yep, we're going to find an arch. Now, of course, I'm going to die. No, let's go over here. Okay, so I like to systematically go through these things. So how am I going to do this with an enclave that is so scattered like this? Well, let's start at the bottom of this building, shall we? By which I mean the top of the upside down building, if that makes any sense. So this puzzle is going to have an analog above us. Well, we're going to have to do this. Yeah, we're going to have to do... No? No, sorry. Just this. We're going to have to do this and that and that. Okay, that solves the for sure. Those can't be connected. These can't be connected. Everything here is now set. This... No. Oh, no. This is possible. It's not horizontal symmetry. It's just vertical. Which means these have to be dark cells, and that does... This can't be because it can't go any further that direction. This can't connect that way or there. Those have to be light cells, and so does that. That has to be a dark cell. That's not too bad. Ah, some lore and a pillar of insight. Auroral, I must know. What is the true nature of the blue light flowing into the sky? Did it create the Pneuma? The Pneuma? Pneuma? Yay. The fracture is a gash in the edge of the universe, and the light you see is the energy of the unknown realm bleeding into the known. Your kind arose in the mixture of the two energies. I see now, but what is happening to the realm that is losing energy? The very same thought has burdened me. It is one of the few things I do not know. See, one of the major issues with the game is it just never ended up with the lore meaning anything. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm solving puzzles because I like solving puzzles, but I don't understand how it's connected to the story that I'm... Okay. Great. Okay. Also fine. We've done puzzles like this already. This has to connect like so. Ah! We have the diamond or X symmetry here. So... Wait, do we just... do this? No. We just do that. Okay. This... yeah. Diamond or X symmetry. Ah, so that piece there. I think we're... yeah, I see what it is here. That has to be like so. Now we gotta make it horizontal symmetry, which means that we have to do this. Do we have to... yeah, we have to continue. So yeah, this is the radial symmetry. Like I said before, that is true. Okay. So the other pillar is going to be way at the top of the building. Alright, have I missed anything on the outer edges of the lower parts of the building? Let's just check. I have a feeling that I will not find everything on this episode. That I will have to come back once I've looked at my save stats file. That's fine with me. I want to try to catch as much as I can. I don't want to deliberately skip anything. Ah, there it is. Okay. So there's going to be an arch on the ceiling way, way up there. Well, beyond the ceiling, there's going to be an arch on the ceiling above that. There's nothing else on this lower edge, though, that's for sure. I bet this takes me up. Yeah. Oh, there's one here. These are already symmetrical. We don't want to make 3 in a row dark cell. All right. Well, that means if I have this... No, I could still do that. It's still fine. Ah, it does mean that I can't, because these have to be like that. I do have to make these white cells, which means that's a dark cell, which means that is. So now we have to have this like so. Figured it out. Let's see. That has to be a light cell, otherwise you have 3 in a row dark cells. Let's see. If these are dark, that's fine if those be dark cells. This has to be a dark cell, we know. Which means this can only go out so far. It can do that. Yeah, it has to, because if we don't do this, we'd have 3 in a row dark cells down there. That has to be dark, because that's a light cell. These are dark cells, because otherwise we'd connect to here, and we would have an asymmetrical thing. That has to be like that. We don't want 3 in a row dark cells, so that is what this is, but these can't connect. No 3 in a row dark cells. Those can't connect, and we're done. It's not bad. Let's grab these rings right here. Wonder where the correct angle is, because it's certainly not that. What if it's in here somewhere? What if I find, like, the needle thread? No. Oh. Okay, let's go down a level. No. I'm trying to do, like, the biggest sick... Oh, no, that goes through the dark cell. Okay. I was trying to do the sickest ever jump. Maybe it's from a lower... Maybe it's from this side? I don't know. Maybe... There it is. Cool. Good puzzle. Are there any others maybe on this side somewhere that I've missed? Let's take another jump up and see. Ah! Here's one. Alright, so we got to make this vertically symmetrical, but now this... So if it's radial symmetry that we want, we're going to have this. So these have to be like so, which also means these have to be like this. Hold on, let's just see what happens if I do one of these. Yeah, that's just what it is. Radial. All 8 directions. So there's going to be one above me. Have I hit all of the ones I can find in this? Whoa, what's happening? I wasn't slowing down my fall like I thought it would. Oh, hey, there's a hidden puzzle right in here. Ooh, that's a clever hiding spot. Okay, connect. Oh, we have to connect them all too, which means this is going to connect all of these pieces. That means every single dark cell needs to have its analog on this axis, like so. That has to happen. We don't want to make squares. Connect all light cells doesn't mean that the light cells are all symmetrical with each other, and in fact, that's going to be all light cells here. Because if a dark cell went down here, there would have to be an analog there, and there's not enough space up here. So these are all light cells. Now we could have the dark cells come through here. No, we can't. Because if we do this, the light cells have to come around. No, they could go through there. No, we don't want square, because the light cells would have to go around and we'd make squares. So the dark cells have to come around the bottom. This way. I think this is what has to happen. So follow my logic. If we don't, if the dark cells go through here, light has to come around this way. These 3 have to be light. And those 3 have to be light. We have light squares. So this can't be this way. Dark cell has to go through here. And there. Now, this has to be a light cell, because if it was a dark cell, there'd have to be one there. Let's see. Well, now that we have this dark cell and this one, there cannot be any light cells in here. Because then how would we connect everything? No squares means that that's what that is. No squares. I really hope I'm doing this right. This could still be a dark cell, and in fact, it might still be a dark cell. Let's see. What can I infer now? Light has to come through here, which means these are light cells. Those are dark cells. These are light cells. That's come out this way. Now, this can't be a light cell, because then this would also be light, and that would be, and then we'd have a square of light cells. So that is the light cell. These are dark. Like this, and we're done. That was a cool puzzle. Anyway, we're gonna find maybe there's more hidden ones if I just really like look in these like alcoves. How much do I want to look in alcoves? This area is so large it makes you feel like you're missing stuff just by existing. Okay, I'm gonna move on for a second. I'm gonna try the upper edge. That seems useless. Try the upper side here. Hold on a second. Did I see one that I missed? Or did I just see leaves and something? I did see some rings that I missed. Maybe this side has stuff I haven't seen? Not really. So how do I get back up again? Maybe, I think it's the island that's over here. It's really my only recourse if I fall down. And then I have to go to this island. Okay, I see. This lets me back up. Oh yeah, that's right, because this island is symmetrical with this one, which means there's going to be a puzzle on the lower end of it. Okay, so let's head that way. Also, there's an arch here because there was one underneath the spot that I was in. So, okay, I see. This will let me do the puzzle. There we go. We're going to listen to me jumping up and down now. Okay, connect all the A's and B's. Everything must be symmetrical. So if that's symmetrical, this has to have an analog here because it's going to connect to here. That has to have analogs there. Do you see what I mean? All the B's have to connect to here. I don't see any other way to do this. Because if this B connects here and all B's are connected to each other, this A is connected here and all A's are connected to each other, that means every A has a vertical analog, like so. Okay, now we've got that settled. This has to come out this way. This definitely has to go in this way and that way. But that has to be a dark cell. This has to happen, which means that has to happen. These are done. That has to happen. This has to happen. Okay. Cool. All right, let's take a walk around this lower edge here, see if I find anything. Because if I see anything on the ground, it means that there is a puzzle underneath this floor. So there's an archway right under here. Oh, there's a bouncy right there. Now... Okay, we're starting to leave... Yeah, there's a whole area back here. I'm not going to go into that. There's definitely going to be an arch right under this side. Let's take a look at the other side of the building. I'm going to skip all of this for a second. Hold on, what's this? Oh, it's just improperly placed texture. This just wasn't connected to that. So, let's see. Any arches? We got a log. There's a puzzle in the log. So there's going to be a puzzle in a log under this floor. Oh, okay, darts and lotuses. So connect all dark cells. Okay, that's good to know. Because this has got to be a dark cell. And it's got to connect to all the other ones, which means it's going to come out. Which means only one more dark cell is allowed here. This can come out, it's fine, but it can't connect to that. How far down can it go? We'll see. These can connect just fine. Okay. Those can be connected, so let's see what this is. This is gonna take me a while. I can feel it. Now the trouble is, if this is a dark cell, we're gonna have an issue here. So that's got to be a light cell, which means which means these are all light cells. That can be a light cell too. So I don't know any more than that. One of these two is light. All dark cells are connected. And there has to be at least one here, so we do have to go through here. We have to go through here. Only one of these. So it could go this way, or it could go through there. I'm not sure. 5. So I'm betting it's these 3 for sure, but I'm gonna hedge the bet for a second. That can be, or that. No, because it has to connect. And these can't connect to each other, so that definitely is a dark cell. Right, because they connect, this has to come out as well. Let's see. These have to be dark cells because they can't connect vertically. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any one of these could be a white cell. We're not totally sure yet. Because it could go around through here, or it could go around... I don't know. It could go around this side or through this middle piece. I'm not sure yet. Can this be... That has to be a dark cell. And this can be... Yeah, that has to be dark cell as well, which means that's a dark cell. Okay. These are still fine. These, in fact, are all still fine to be light cells. That one's got to be a dark cell. That finishes that off. Okay. This could be dark or light here, because these both... Hold on a second. This can't... Yeah. So we know that there's got to be one more dark cell. It could be either one of these, because now we're just waiting to see what these are. This is going to have to be dark, because anything else is going to break it. 1, 2, 3. Ah. Only one of these two is going to be a dark cell. And it could go through that way. It just can't be that, because it could go through that way. Let's see. Because these can be light or dark. We're not sure. We only have 3. We only have 3 on this here. Not sure how that helps me yet. Alright, something's staring me in the face. I'm not sure what it is yet. Because I could do this really easily. And then just have one piece here as it comes around. That won't work. In fact, any connection from there to there won't work. This can connect to here. No, see, the thing is, if this connects to this piece, then we're in trouble, because it has to connect like that. So these have to be disconnected. That's the only thing that can happen. See what I mean? This is all we can do. So it does have to go like this. Okay, which means this does have to go through here. These could be like this. No, I don't think so. If we have this issue, then how does the black cell get through here? So it does have to be like this. That has to be a dark cell, which means these have to all be dark cells. These can't both be light cells. So that means this has to be a light cell in order to make one dark cell down here. Either one of these, as far as I'm aware, will work. I'm not totally sure yet. That has to be like so. Like, is there a reason why I wouldn't... right, connect all dark cells, you silly Billy. So this is how that's going to go. And that's the end of the puzzle. That only took like 10 minutes. So there's definitely one down here somewhere. Oh my goodness, 3 stars. Okay, this is going to be a while. Oh no. Oh no. Exactly 1 symbol per dark area. Hold on, this might help us out. That means we can't have any of this. Darts count opposite color cells. We know what darts are. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, let's see what we can gather from this. We only have 2 dark cells this direction, which means we cannot connect this to either of them. That is for sure. Now, we have 4 going in this direction. Which lotus are those 4 connected to? That is the question. It's not these, because I could connect this out this way. Not like this, but I could connect this out here. But no matter what I do, there has to be... It would be like this, or it'd be like... Oh, it can't be that. But it's going to be an even number, or an odd number, not an even number. So this has to come out at least once. And in fact, this will always be an odd number. So this will be an odd number here. So it'll either be something like this or something like that. That is for sure. Let's see where we go from there. This is going to be 4. There's only 3. So it could be like this. Now that would sort of make it difficult. Over here would force these. Let's see. This one has 4, which means that since this is always going to be an odd number, there's going to be something. Either this one's going to come out this far, or this one's going to come out this far. This has 5. Let's see. Like we can have... I'm not sure we do with this one yet. Oh wait, no, this can't come down to here because then we'll have that problem. But it could come down this way. Oh dear. Let's see where we start with this. We only have 3. This is going to help us out here. How do I get 3 dark cells down here? This is the easiest way to do so. If I bring a piece out here, it will never be symmetrical. So this can't connect out here. This could theoretically... It can't connect with this. It would have to do some weird trick. But then it would never be able to connect to this other stuff. It could go... No, it would have to do all 3, because if it did only 1... this could happen. This is a total possibility. All I know is that this one won't go out here. Okay, it's getting me somewhere, but it's not totally. Because this is a doable thing. Okay, so if we did something like this, though, we have the 4 set up and the 3 set up. Now, instead of me doing this in my head, I'm going to show you what's happening here. Doing something like this will force all of these like so. Which leads to this. So that is impossible. See what I mean? So can't do something like this. It can't give me just 2, and this can't give me just 1. All 3 of them have to be from here, and this is the only way to do so. Let's just lock that one in. Now to make 5, the simplest way is to do this and connect it to this piece here. But then it would force this to not be connected to anything, which is going to be tricky. But if we had a black piece here, the only way to do 4 is like this. So that's a possibility. Either way, this piece is a black cell. There's nothing we can do to make this a white cell. Which means this has to be white cells. That's just what we have to do. So the only way to make 4 then... 1, 2. We can't have both of these because then symmetry here is going to be tricky because then we'd have to have 2 there. We can't. There's either 1 or 3 from this piece. There's going to be 1 because we can't have 3 there. So only 1 piece, meaning this has to be 3. 1 piece here, which means 1 more here. And it's not going to be this one probably. Yeah, because then we'd have an issue where this can't be, because there has to be 1 piece here, meaning there's 1 piece here, all 4 pieces. This would force 5 in a row down here. So those 2, and they're connected to this, so it's like that. Great, perfect. I feel like, and also this second piece is going to come from here. So this is going to be a light cell as well. It's not going to be this one. The only way to make 3? Oh, no. I already have one piece. So I need to make 2. So it's going to be connected like this. I think that's the only way to do it. Gosh, I hope I'm making logical inferences here. Because I could be really screwing this up. I don't know any other way to make 2 pieces here, because if I bring one down, I would have to bring one up from here, and it would not work. So this is what's happening here. To make 3 here, I need to make them symmetrical like this. Okay. How do I fix this? I can't do that. I could do it like this. This is how I could do this part. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. It's not anywhere good though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here it is. That's the 6. Then there's this. Okay, it's coming together. There it is. Got it. Dang, that was a good one. Okay, I'm watching my timer here. I'm approaching the hour mark, and I'm nowhere near done. This is just going to be a long episode. I don't think I'm going to split it into 2 videos unless there's a really, really good break point somewhere that feels natural. So it's going to just be a big video. Okay, so this has to be like that. This has to be like... Okay, so we're just making this. Okay. So let's look around. I don't remember all of the spots that we have the opposite side puzzles on. So we're just going to look around a bit. Let's see. This can't connect that way. This can't connect here or there. Yeah, that can't connect there. This can't connect here, so this takes care of that. There's no way I could connect all of this together. Okay, that's just complete. Let's see. So we've got this here, a little graphical glitch. That stuff happens. There was an archway that was near the roof of the other piece, so there's got to be an archway near the ground here. You know what I mean? When I was... No, hold on. When I was on the floor, I saw the archway. So if I go to the ceiling here, there's going to be an archway. Where? Well, let's take care of this, though. I see this puzzle. These can't connect to anything. That's that. That can't connect, so these can't connect. We're done. There's a lot of puzzles here. Where is that arch? Is it underneath? Yeah, it's underneath. Oops, here's rings we can do. Maybe not from this spot. Maybe another level up. No. Okay. Maybe from higher up. Maybe from this side. Good grief. Maybe from this angle, but from lower down. Ooh, we got one here as well. So where do we get... I thought I could get that one midair, but I can't. Just get it from the ground. There's a pillar of insight up here as well, because there was... Yeah, it's lore. Symmetrical lore. If the fracture ruptures, will we all perish? As the Pneuma were created from the energies of both realms, the unknown realm will not destroy you. You will return to its embrace. That's the same thing. Whatever. That has to be like this. Those can't be... Okay, well those have to be like this. What am I doing here? I see. Okay, I see. Start that. I was just taking guesses and I was wrong. So I know that this has to be like this. Well, this can't be symmetrical here, so we have to have this scenario. we have to have this scenario. These are for sure settled. So this can't be this has to be a white piece. So we just have a series of like T-shapes. Okay. We have that, this. Let's see. These have to be like so. This could go. We can do this, right? We can do. I see the problem. So. Let's see. I don't think I want to connect this. I think I want it to be more like this. See what I mean? Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, this has to be like that. This can't connect there, so we're gonna have these pieces. That can't connect. That can't connect. There we go. Okay. Let's see. This can't go that way, so we do have this issue. Ah, stop it! We have that issue. Can't connect it to that piece. We could do it like this. No, we can't. Hold on. So we can't connect there. We can't have a black piece there. So that has to be like that. This can't, so if this was a dark cell, then we'd have to have a light cell here. Oh. Yeah, then we'd have to have a light cell there. Can't have a light cell here because that's a dark cell. So this is how this goes. That's how that goes. That's how that goes. That's how it is. Man, I'm so bad at these. So that has to be a dark cell. That has to be a dark cell, which means we have these set. Let's see. These. This has to be a dark cell. That can be dark. In fact, that's what we want to do there. Hey, I did it. Okay, what else do we got? We got some more rings. No. Where do I find like the perfect angle on this? Right there. So there are definitely some hidden puzzles I've missed, like on the edges in these alcoves. Ah. No squares, connect all cells. Okay, so that means that we're going to have analogs down the center. We're going to have these are all dark cells. And because this is a perfectly symmetrical thing, the light cells are also going to be analogs. Because if there was a dark cell there instead, then we would have an issue. So we could have this. Could we? Let's not make assumptions here. Could also go around the edge. No, we can't. So if we go around the edge like this. Now the question is, how do I get out of here without making a square of dark cells? So if I make light cells. No, I could still do this. What I just can't do is have dark cells come around this corner. Because if I go around this way, then I have to have a light cell in one of these two spots. Which means the light cells will come around. So yeah, that's not going to work. So this does have to go through here. This is in fact... yeah, this in fact has to be the case. Is this just it? That's just it. Yeah, okay, that was way easier than I was making it. So is there another one somewhere? Like, there was one on this edge. Maybe it's me lower down. Maybe it's higher up. I seem to remember one being really visible from there. Maybe it's the other side? Ah, there's one here. All right, let's figure this out. This is settled. Don't make 3 in a row. Okay, so if either of these are a dark cell, we're in trouble. So that has to be like this. Now, this has to be a dark cell. This could be light, but it also could be dark, and that'd be fine. If it was a dark cell, we'd have light there and there. This has to be a dark cell, so that means that we have a light cell here. And we can't have dark cells because we have this. We can't have it there. Okay. It's getting somewhere. This can't connect. So we have... Oh, and this side doesn't matter. This side just can't connect there. That has to be like this. This does, in fact, have to be like this. No 3 in a rows. This has to be a dark cell. That has to be a dark cell. There is no 3 in a row here. No 3 in a row. No 3 in a row. Okay, cool. Cool. Not too bad. Alright, is there anything else within this building that I have missed? There probably is. I wouldn't put it past me for missing stuff. But what I will say is that I don't want to waste hours of time looking for everything. Come on, just let me get to the top of the building, please, because I bet there's something really nifty. Oh, there's just something right here I can use. Well, there's the arch, but I already found the analog to that arch under the building. Ah, here's the island that might correspond to the one down there. Okay. All light regions have area 5. So this is a problem, because now we have this whole thing happening. This can't be the case, because then we have that. Okay, that's that. That means this has to escape. And it can't be this, because then we have a problem here. So we have this. This could connect here and just be a straight line. This can't connect here. Okay. How else can I figure this one out? All I know is can't have all light regions are area 5. Well, this has to be like the only way to make 5 is this way. Light regions are area 5, so that can't connect down there. This could come down one space, but then it wouldn't be able to go anywhere else. So it has to come up a space, and it's gonna connect to this guy. So that is the way to make this piece. That's 5. There's no rules about the dark cells. This could be like this. 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 And oh, I'm dumb. Hold on. I thought I just had that one magically without thinking about it. It would be like this. Then how do I connect this stuff? Like this. This is the solution. Okay. It was just this guy. Okay. Now, if this... Let's see what's underneath. It has a tree, but it doesn't have anything else on it. So I wonder what island it is like. Is there an island on this side I can see? It doesn't seem to be anything island-wise over here. I don't see anything way down there. So what is that island the analog to? It's not the one that's way down here, is it? It could. It looks like it, but there's not a puzzle on the underside of it. Probably because if you did the puzzle, you would fall off the edge of the world like I'm doing right now. Okay, goodbye. Alright, we're back where? The log. I remember this. Okay, so we're on the other side of the world for some reason. Okay, let's start solving the puzzles over here. It's about time we hit this area. Oh, we're gonna have to get a nice... like, between this angle here. I don't know. Let's hit some of these rings while I'm at it. Any other rings? Hold on, there's this guy. Okay. Okay, so we have cross symmetry here. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. That one just kind of solved itself. Okay, hidden pentads. Let's see what we got. So this time they're not going to be symmetrical with themselves. I bet there's a hidden pentad under this island that's upside down. In the exact spot this one is, and the pieces that I'm looking for are in the same spots, but symmetrically done. You know what I mean? So there's a piece in the crook of the tree up here. There's going to be a piece in the crook of the tree on the underside. Ooh, the circle's closing. So what side? Maybe it's closer to that edge? Oh, it's just right there. So if I go to the underside, I'm going to find that hidden pentad. Yep. Oh, as well as the rings. Find the rings that I can do. And I'm going to find, yeah, it's a box that was there. Okay, so this is like so, but that piece is there. That's possible. That's not possible, so we solved that. This piece has to be like so. That can connect just fine, but those cannot. This has to be like that. This does have to, in fact, connect, so it can't connect here. Yeah. So it is the diamond or X-shaped symmetry. That has to be like that. Yeah, that's what that is. That can still be a light cell, though. Yeah, we can still do that kind of stuff. In fact, we do have to do that stuff because we have to make this one symmetrical. So that is the end of that. We can't connect those. We can do this. My brain is starting to hurt a little, but I do want to finish this world as best I can. Okay, so there's going to be stuff. So yeah, the crook of the tree, the root, then there was stuff here, and there's one like under here, and then there's one in the center of the world there. Yep. That's the trick. That's the whole trick. So there's something under there. I can solve this alone. Oh, I see. No two together. So anything like this, these have to be... This has to just be like this. Can I just do this? I can just do that. Bet there's something here. Yeah, there is. Get closer. How much closer do you want me? All right. Okay. Area numbers equal region sizes. Symmetry. Okay, this solves the symmetry. This can't be a thing. Solves that. Okay. That can't be a thing. That can't be a thing, which means we have this issue and that issue. Oh, no, hold on. That can still be a light cell. It's not cross symmetry. It's just horizontal symmetry. But it can't go down there. This would overload the 5, so the 5 comes through here. The 3 is going to come down at least this far. It can't connect to that piece, so it will in fact be done there. That has to be a dark cell. That would overload it, so that's going to finish off the dark cells there. Let's see. This has to be a dark cell. These can be light cells. Or they could be dark. No, see, if this is a dark cell, this guy's going to get overloaded no matter what happens. So that has to be like this. Amazing. Brilliant. Can I get any of these from down here? It's not really possible. Let's see. Right? Okay, I think I've gotten all the puzzles I can find from this spot. Oh, hang on, there's a ring there. Can I get it from here? Yes. There's this. A, B, A, B. So it's not going to go through here. It's going to come around through here. Oh, connect all dark cells and symmetry. Oh, dear Lord. So if this is, in fact, truly symmetrical, then we know that we're going to have this. So the A... No, B is going to come around. The A is going to The A is going... how do I... Oh, no. I'm so dumb. These A's don't have to connect over here. See what I mean? That's just the solution. I was trying to connect the A to this piece, and it's never going to happen. All right. There was definitely an arch by the introduction of the log on the other side. So there's this piece. Okay. This is a lot of lotuses. It's hurting my eyes. Well, this has to be light. This has to be light. That has to be dark. That has to be dark. That's dark. That's light. This is light, and this is light. Good. This connects to that piece, which makes it light. Oh dear, these are all going to be connected, aren't they? These are all going to be connected. This has to go. Okay. That has to look like this, which means this has to look like... Okay. Because they can't connect any further. Can they? Yeah, there's just no way to do it. This can't come out. That can't come out. This can't come out. This can't come out. So we definitely have this. Oops, that's that. And that was weird. Okay. Let's hit this guy. Let's see what happens. Let's see where these hidden relics are going to be. Nothing's in the log. Okay, there's one on the rock. There's one above the log, which means it'll be below the log. And there's one around it there. There's one there. There's one there. Oh, I already got that one? Okay. Where's the last one? Let's go down here. Okay, so tip of the log, above / below the log, around the piece here. No, no, oh dear. Okay, I'm just gonna fall. I'm gonna drop. Tread lightly, little one. Shut up. There's gonna be something. Oh, there's an arch. Okay. Didn't see that. Do not fear the boundaries of my... Oh, you dropped me over on the other side of the world? Thank you. That means there's an arch over here. Yep. Okay. So as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. So let's stand here. So there's one up here. There's one basically right down there. There's one up here. There's one around this rock. So that last guy. It's going to be close to the ground. See how that line is moving up? It's going to be somewhere. Let's see if I can see it from over here. Ah, there it is. Okay, so now, are there any more puzzles over this direction? Let's see. I don't think so. So let me head up to the top. And we'll hit all the puzzles over here now. So this is going to have... There's going to be one under here. There's going to be, yep, this part of the rock under the log instead of above. Yep. It's going to be at the edge on top and on bottom. That's all of those. I still have a bunch of other puzzles to solve. We'll get there. I know it's been close to 90 minutes. It's just like watching a movie if the movie was narrated by a sort of monotone robot. So don't make this pattern, which means that we can't have all. Yeah, so if this is a dark cell, that's possible. They just can't all be dark cells. These can't connect for sure. Okay, these... All right. That can't connect to there. Do we just... Is this just... one of these? Hold on. This is just what this is. Okay. Missing any other puzzles around here? There's the one under the log. There's one inside the log too. I'll check out. A and B can't connect to each other. Connect all dark cells, and we do have a rotation. Areas containing this must be symmetrical. Well, this can't possibly connect to all A, B, and C, because then everything would connect. C cannot escape except by going through the lotus. So the C is symmetrical, which means that the A is going to be like this. Which means the B is going to come through. So C could probably just come through here. We could just do this. Yep. Not too bad. Let's head up through here. Symmetrical symbols. Okay, so this has to be dark. This has to be dark. That's light. Let's see. This one on the edge, that's dark. It's dark. Okay, my eyes hurt from looking at these lotuses. Let's see. That's... yeah, that one can't be. That also can't be. So we're going to mark these. These are fine. That's got to be light. Either way, these are both the same color. That, yeah, those can't connect each other. This can't connect there. So that one's surrounded. Let's see where these other pieces go. This, yeah, this can't connect to these. So this one's surrounded as well. Okay, so this is possible? Right. No, it's not. So that's got to be like this. Okay. That's surrounded. That can't be like that. No, this can't be because then it would connect like that. So this is how this will go. I think this will just solve it. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I don't think I'm missing anything so far. It would be, or at least there's nothing obvious I'm missing. Okay, well this is going to be true. So just area numbers and symmetries. That has to be. No, this could still come out. The 6 for sure has to come through here. Let's see. Well, if this were white, then 6 would come out there. This can't be. So now we know this much. If this is white, then this is black, which is fine. But you know what? This can't be white. Because then we'd have a problem with symmetry there. So now... this can't be for sure. So that is now... and that can connect, though. That we don't know. Huh. Well... this 2 can't connect to either of those. So we definitely solved that much. This can't connect here. That can't connect. That has to go up at least one more time. It can only go over one, so that has to go at least one that direction. In fact, it has to stop there. So this is the solution. Nice. Good puzzle. So let's see if this is the angle I get. Nice. On those rings. Alright. How about here? It looks like I've got to have an angle from like up above or down below. Oh, hold on. Speaking of down below, I missed this for sure. I can solve with just this info. No checkerboards, no 4 in a rows of white, and no 3 in a rows of black. Okay. Well, if I made this a dark cell, this would be a light cell. But this couldn't be a light cell. It would have to be a dark cell. We have a checkerboard. Therefore, these are light cells. And so are those. No 4 in a row means we have to do this. Let's see. Anything there could be. If this was a light cell, these would always be light cells, which is totally fine. If this was that case... okay. If I make this a dark cell, then this has to be a light cell, because I want 3 in a row. The trouble now is, if I make these light cells, these would have to be dark cells, and we would have checkerboards. But if I make them dark cells, we have 3 in a row. So this is a light cell, making all of this light cells, meaning these are all dark cells. We can't have any checkerboards, therefore we have to have this. See what I'm saying? That's the solution. Okay. There's definitely going to be more. Let's see if we can get... This is going to be so dumb. I'm not going to do it. So how do I get the other... I'm not going to get it that way. Maybe I stand on top here and get this puzzle. And then I can look down. Oh, no. There's... Where do I get the angle? Oh, this is the same deal, but now... Hold on. No white sandwiches. No Oreo cookies here. So we got the crust, and then the cream in the middle. No 2 in a row here. So these can't be light. That can't be, and that can't be. No 3 in a row white cells. Okay. Which means these also have to be white. Okay. So this has to be dark cell, which means these have to be light cells. Okay. I think... Well, hold on a second. I think we just have a pattern. We have a pattern here. Look at that. It's just a pattern. Okay. Easy. So I still haven't found enough archways. And there's at least 3 more archways. Aha! Excuse me. It's probably because I've been yapping too much that I'm coughing. How do I get the rings here? Maybe this somewhere? Where am I going to get the angle for those rings? Give me the Mirabilis already. Yeah, thank you, thank you. So there's 9 puzzles still available? How on earth? Is it from down here? Oh, it might just be down here. Is there like a hair, like, pixel? There we go. And then let's check out this island. Well, there's stuff down here. I see it. There is an archway, which means there's one above us, and a puzzle, which means there's one above us. Oh no. Okay. So don't make a T shape in dark cells, which basically means the dark... Oh, and connect all dark cells, which means dark cells basically have to be one long line. And there's going to be just one of them. All right. Well, let's start with the fact that the 8 cannot escape. It has to escape through here. It can't connect to that 5. It has to be like this. Right? Is there any other way for the 8? 8 can go here, but it can't go down because then we have a problem. So this is, in fact, the end of the road. So that's how this part will go. 5 has to escape. Alrighty then. What do we say after this point? 8 can... this has to be symmetrical. So this is the only way to make the 8 symmetrical. So I think we have our end and start point. Like this. These have to come out. This is going to be a dark cell because one of those 2 is white. Let's see, after that point, connect all dark cells. We don't want to have that pattern. So what are we going to do down here? Oh, it doesn't say all white cells have to have a symbol in them. It doesn't say that. Let's see. This 7's probably going to connect to here. I just don't see any other way. Because, yeah, it's just got... This can't be a dark cell. So this has to be like this. Which means this... The only way to make 7 is like this. That is it. That's the only way we can do it. Ah, so that means we have to connect this like so, because we already know our endpoint. No, hold on, that's not right. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. If I know this, this can't be, this does have to be. This can't be, because then we're going to have a problem. Okay, I've made an assumption here that's wrong. This does have to be. There's no other way to make the 8. Because it's going to connect here, which is going to force these symmetries to be like so. So this has to be here, which forces this. Is there any other way? Because it has to be exactly 3 pieces come out. The only way I can think of doing that is here, which does this. I see where it is. This doesn't connect. I made the assumption there that that connects, and I was wrong. I was very, very bad and wrong. This has to happen. This has to happen. Okay. Alrighty then. We can't have these. This has to come out this way. We can't have any more dead ends for the black pieces because we have it right there. Okay, what's next? That has to go like so. This has to come out. It could go one space over, but not much. Otherwise, this piece has to come through here. That is for sure. Now, is this 4 going to connect to this symmetrical piece? Because the only way to do it is like that. Which would cause a problem, because now there's no way for this to completely encircle without doing that. So this is not going to connect. That's probably going to connect there. Which means that we have this happening. And this happening. Yeah, it is going to connect like so. Like this. That has to be a white piece for sure. This can come up 1, but that's as far as it can go. So either this is dark or that's dark. That's kind of what I already knew. Let's see. I'm closer on this. So if I did this, I could do this piece here. It would connect these. Connect this here. Well, hold on. These have to be. There's no way any of those can be dark cells, so that's actually solved already. Let's just do this. And we've solved the puzzle. Wow, that's a good one. So close. I'm almost there. I promise. I promise you all 2 of you who want to watch this kind of video. I know what I am. Alright. So we got a nice 2-pip puzzle. Why are the pips on that side? Oh, well, I'm gonna fall off the edge of the earth here. Alright, so anyway, areas connecting the symbol must be symmetrical. Well, this needs to be a light cell. And that means this needs to be a light cell, and that does. Oh dear. That has to be? Yeah, that has to be light. That has to be light. This has to, oh, those have to be light. This does, is it just the butterfly? It's the butterfly. There we go. Okay. There's going to be 2 more puzzles up here for sure. There's going to be arch, and there's going to be sky. Symmetry is going to happen here. 5, 9, 6, 4. The only way to do it is that. And we want to connect all dark cells. Okay. Well, let's take a look at how the 8's going to. It has to come through here. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the only way to make this happen. That has to be a dark cell. Could have it go out this way. I don't think so though. Because if this happens, we're screwed. So these have to be dark cells as well. Which means I think it has to be like this, the only thing we can do there. Now 5 looks like it's just gonna be straight line like this. 9 could be like this, and 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. we could just do this. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Okay, there are in fact 3 puzzles remaining in this world. I do not know where they are, so I am not going to do a huge look for them because I have already scoured this area plenty. I'm sure to the delight of all of my millions of fans. So I'm going to end this. Oh, hold on. Oh, this just takes me back to the main world. I'm going to end this here because that was 90 minutes in that enclave. So, hey, it's glad to be back. I'm going to upload this all probably as one really, really long video. So that'll make up for me not recording for a while. I don't know. Maybe by the time this uploads, it's only going to be a couple days since my last one. But hey, that's how my channel is. I just do whatever I want. I'm not really trying to be a big deal. What I'll do, next thing to do is travel the Great that thing it says up there. So I might do that next time. I have had enough of this. My brain hurts. So thank you all for watching that wonderful thing. I will find the last 3 puzzles another time. I'll look at my program to see where they are and then go get them later. In the meantime, y'all have a good day, etc., etc.